Hello, everyone, and welcome to Race 3 of the 2004 season. We are here at Las Vegas, Nevada, and we are going to head down to the grid and we're going to get today's storylines, and we'll get this race rolling here shortly. Today's driver's spotlight is Jeff Gordon. Starts 8th today. He's going to have to fight a little bit of track position if he's going to win. He won this race 1 year ago. He had the championship sealed, locked up last year. By race 25 out of 30, he was plus 57 to second place. By race 27, he was third, 15 out, and by the end of the season, he was fourth, 60 out. Today, he is 12th in the points, and he's looking to cover some ground, make up some ground with the slower start to the season.
Drivers, to your cars.
As you hear the drivers to your cars call, we'll head down to the grid and we'll look at the starting lineup as well as some late breaking stories. Starting 42nd today, you see Kenny Wallace right there in the 33 did not have a good qualifying run. Actually had a tire go down and his at the end of his qualifying run puts up a 42nd starting position, as well as Mark Martin. I know he's not starting very good, starting kind of mid-pack. Right there, he goes inside, you see his teammate Jeff Burton in the Roundup car. Those guys, those three, as well as there's Brian Vickers, Bobby Labonte, Del Jarrett, McMurray. These guys are going to have to work their way up from midfield if they're going to want to make their way up to the front of this field. Another quick note before we get this race started, the weekend winners started out with Mark Gibson winning at South Boston in a late model. Saw Ted Musgrave winning the trucks here at Vegas. We saw Johnny Benson roll the dice, saved enough fuel, was able to win. I wonder if we'll see anybody roll the dice and save enough fuel here in this race. Fuel strategy will definitely be a huge factor, play a big role in today's race. And, Roush, obviously, Matt Kenseth starting up there in second. But Kurt Busch, hometown hero, we'll have to see how he fares. One of those guys kind of mid-pack there. We'll have to see how these guys roll off today. And we were talking about Jeff Gordon and his 2003 fumbles. Jimmy Johnson's on pole today. We'll have to see how him and that team can hold on to that track position. Okay, so we'll go over the top 10 here. We got Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, Bill Elliott, Terry Labonte, Ricky Rudd, Jeff Gordon's the outside of Dale Jr., Greg Biffle, and Casey Mears rounds out your top 10.
Drivers, start your engines.
As you hear the drivers start your engines and the engines roar here in Nevada, we'll continue our starting lineup. We got Mayfield, Steve Park, couple Dodges, Tony Stewart, back there, Ryan Newman, Elliott Sadler, Joni Nemechek, Kurt Busch, Jack Sprague, Michael Waltrip, Robbie Gordon, Dale Jarrett, Jamie McMurray. There's Bobby Labonte, Ricky Brian Vickers, Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, Sterling Marlin, David Starr, Paul Menard, Ron Hornaday Jr., Dave Blaney, Ricky Craven. There's Jimmy Spencer to the outside of him, Rusty Wallace. Then we got Ward Burton and Jeff Green. Christian Fittipaldi and John Andretti. We got Buckshot Jones, Jerry Nadeau, Kyle Petty, and to the outside of him, we talked about it, Kenny Wallace. It'll be interesting to see how these guys can make their way through the field. As we see, we got 67 laps today. They can make it maybe around 20 laps of gas. I'm not sure. Just kind of pulling that out of left field here. We'll have to watch and see. But as the pace car makes that sharp left-hand turn, we are going to be getting the green flag momentarily from Las Vegas, Nevada for race 3 of the 2004 season. And we are green. And Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, getaway 1-2, Harvick. There's Terry Labonte, Dale Jr., last week's winner. Gets away with P5. There's Bill Elliott, Greg Biffle, side by side, Casey Mears. Ricky Rudd has had an amazing start to the season. In that Wood Brothers Ford entry. Here's our driver spotlight. Forgot to mention this green flag, but my pick to win is the hometown hero, Kurt Busch, on the outside. Gets around Joe Nemechek, chasing down Elliott Sadler. Meanwhile, Matt Kenseth is chasing down Jimmy Johnson, trying to figure out a way if he can get around. Maybe he can just hang out. Maybe Jimmy Johnson will burn his stuff up. Maybe Jimmy Johnson can tow Kenseth around. Kenseth will be definitely looking to get around, trying to get himself a bonus point for the championship. We got Matt Kenseth, P5 for the points coming into today. Only 13 behind Jeremy Mayfield, who's had a fairly consistent start to the season. 4 laps in already. I'll go say Mayfield back here. P13 just in front of Stewart. Sadler. There goes Nemechek back by Kurt Busch. Dale Jarrett's looking to fill. Trying to come to the inside of Kurt Busch. We got a side-by-side battle here for P5. Biffle and Earnhardt Jr., and that seems to separate the top 4. It's Kevin Harvick. Kiss this before pre-race. Kiss performed for these fans out here in Vegas. There goes Terry Labonte looking to make a move on Harvick. How complicated and difficult will Harvick make that pass? He seems to be putting up a pretty good fight. Meanwhile, Johnson seems to pull away a bit from Kenseth. Top 4 pretty much spaced themselves out. There's Junior. Now Greg Biffle's trying to hang on from Bill Elliott. And there's Casey Mears. Had a great rookie of the year last year. Ricky Rudd sitting top 10. Steve Park top 10 as well. Here comes Gordon looking to put his way into the top 10. Pretty hooked up right now. The field is spacing out nicely. We'll go ahead and we come around to the end of lap 9. Jimmy Johnson continues to lead. He wants to put his bid in for the most laps led today. Let's go see what Kenny Wallace is up to. As you see, his march forward to the front has been stalled. He's only seemed to pass one car. It's going to be really difficult to try and get a run up on anybody. Qualifying is very, very important to see if we can try and get to the inside of Buckshot Jones here. Dives in really hard. The car's got the grip. There's just nowhere to go. Kyle Petty, Fittipaldi's to the inside of his old. Oh, that's John Jerry. Never mind. There goes Wallace. We go to him and he gains 2 spots. Look at that. Maybe we should show him more often. There he's going for another one. To the inside of Christian Fittipaldi. There's Westy Wallace and the Bill Elliott entry. Ron Hornaday for RCR. There's Jack Sprague. There's Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte. My pick, Kurt Busch. I thought the Roush cars would fare a little better today. But there's still a long way to go. It's not exactly a 500-mile race, but you see Dale Earnhardt Jr. pitching in on his teammate Terry Labonte. 33.9. Junior in the draft seems to be the fastest car in the top 5, and he still is. He's looking to the inside. Terry's not giving him space. Off a 2. Junior sails it in there. That team seems to be getting some momentum going here. Terry successfully defends and holds on to 4th. These guys falling off about a second now. So here comes Kenseth. Carried a lot of center corner speed there. Really good run as he tries catching up to Jimmy Johnson. As we get to lap 17 here, in about a lap, that'll mark the quarter distance. Johnson, there's Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, Terry Labonte, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Greg Biffle, and Pennzoil. Pennzoil, National Guard, Taurus. Got Bill Elliott there in the top 10. Mears. Oh boy, we got Ricky Rudd, Steve Park, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart all battling for a top 10 spot here. Looking for P9. They go off into turn 3 here. These guys are about to falling off a little more than a second now. Really tough place to make a bunch of passes. The inside line's obviously the shorter way around, a little quicker, but it's flat. It's really hard to get the car to stay low. You got to hold the outside for momentum, but it's flat, and it's really, really difficult to get it hooked up on both ends of the speedway here. Off a 2, Gordon's trying to carry the momentum as we got a pass for 3rd. Terry Labonte looking for a pass on Kevin Harvick. Kenseth is also closing in on Johnson, excuse me. Junior's closing in on Terry and Harvick. And last week we talked about Chevrolet winning 50 since the start of 2003 across all 3 national series, and you can see why. Out of the top 5, 4 of them are all Chevrolets. Ooh, Terry's gonna slide up right there. Kind of overdrove the center to try and secure the pass. And we got pit stops. Johnson, Kenseth, which will relinquish the lead to Terry Labonte. Right here. So if the math checks out, about lap 18, they'll pit again around 36 to 37. And they'll carry them to 54, and they can make it to the end. This will be really interesting here to see how people cycle. Only 5 cars on pit lane to start with. I imagine it'll be a lot more busy this time. Anybody going to try and stretch it to lap 20? I don't really see any reason to try and stretch it. There's Ricky Craven. He's going to come out here and try and get himself a bonus point. And he will. You can go 20, 40, 60, but you'll still have to make that one more pit stop. Meanwhile, off of pit road, there's Johnson, Kenseth, Steve Park, Del Jarrett, or Newman, Rusty Wallace. Pardon me, there must have been 6 cars on pit road. There's Ricky Craven, gets rid of, surrenders his lead. There's Johnson and Kenseth with a humongous lead. There goes Kenseth going around Junior. There's Terry Labonte. This will be really interesting. Del Jarrett, where does he cycle amongst of all this? There's Harvick. Bill Elliott, Del Jarrett still kicking momentum, will clear Harvick. He'll put himself in the top 6. There's Bill Elliott, Steve Park, Newman. Oh, Rusty Wallace. What a cycle for Wallace. This will put him, I believe, P13. Ooh, Steve Park, Bill Elliott, side by side. Where does Casey Mears go? And Dale Jarrett trying to get to the inside of Greg Biffle. Biffle not really allowing it. It'll be interesting to see right here. He's going to hang a left. Can he carry the momentum, or will Biffle be able to defend? He defends for now as Park makes a move on Elliott. For 8th, here comes Mears. Trying to improve his position. The top 4 so are pretty spaced out. Biffle's trying to hang on to his top 5. We're 10 laps away from halfway here. Pretty tame, calm race up to this point. As you see there, we got Buckshot Jones coming out of turn 4 there. Johnson heading into 3. Let's go ahead and take a look here. See how everybody cycled back here. Kurt Busch, not doing a very good job picking drivers. Pick Michael Waltrip, did okay in the 500. Matt Kenseth, not great speed. So far, Kurt Busch, just not been the car to beat. But Kenny Wallace seems to be marching towards the front. There's Ricky Brian Vickers. Like Vegas has given him fits. And Bobby Labonte. It seems like Vickers and Labonte have been tied together this whole race. There's Sprague, Sadler, Sterling Marlin, Mayfield, your point leader coming in today. Ricky Craven didn't cycle too bad. Paul Menard sitting in the top 20. There's Mark Martin up to 17th, trying to go for 16th on Stewart. There's Jeff Burton, P15, Gordon, P14. Ricky Rudd, Rusty Wallace, trying to go by his old teammate. Ryan Newman for P11. Look at all these Dodges right here. There's what, 5 of them all in a row. Rusty Wallace desperately trying to get around Newman. Ricky Rudd and Gordon waiting in the wings. Bill Elliott, Casey Mears, Steve Park, and then Kevin Harvick's lost a couple spots here to Biffle and Del Jarrett. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr., Terry Labonte, Kenseth, and your leader, Jimmy Johnson. Next time I will be 40 to go. Kansas got a nice little run coming out of the corner. Matt Kenseth coming in today was 5th in the points. We got Jeremy Mayfield, Kenny Wallace, 3 back. Kevin Harvick was 6 back. Ricky Rudd, 12 back. Matt Kenseth, 13 back is your top 5. And Jimmy Johnson coming in today was 15th in the points, 25 back. So this will definitely help him, and this is going to help Kenseth probably put him in the lead. Because if we look at the top 5, we know Mayfield is outside the top 10 back here. P21, Kenny Wallace, we documented, we talked about. P28, not very good. Harvick slipping back to the backside of the top 10. Mark Martin making a nice move there. There's Ricky Rudd sitting 4th in the standings, 12 back. Sitting 12th today. That Wood Brothers car is looking pretty quick. Having himself a really good season. There's Harvick. And the only one left is Matt Kenseth. P6 is Jeff Burton. He's 14 back. Nemechek and Sterling Marlin are tied 17 back. Ooh, look at Harvick all over the back end of Jarrett. Trying to get him loose, get him up the track. Here comes Harvick. Looking to make a move. Coming to 37 to go next time by. Is he there? Not quite. We got the front. Kansas getting a draft on Johnson. Johnson, he's looking to steal the most laps led today and lock up that extra bonus point. Zero had a tire failure there. Pitted, a couple laps down for sure. 1 lap down, probably 2 now. There goes Matt Kenseth right to the bottom, trying to pack air. Johnson's able to carry the center and exit speed, keep in front of the 17 car. Let's go on board Kenseth. Saw over the center of the corner. Johnson was able to gas up, but he had to lift on exit. Kenseth gassed up center, trying to get a run, unable to. Kenseth drives away, or Johnson drives away. You see back there, Jack Sprague trying to get one of his laps back. See if he can catch a yellow. If he can get around the 48, catch a yellow, he'll get the lucky dog and be back in this race, trying to earn some points. And one guy we'll talk about, Jeff Green. Coming in today, 9th in the points, very opportunistic in the first 2 races. Had some strategy go his way last week. Played the draft. I think he finished 2nd in the 500, 2nd or 3rd in the 500. Great drive out of that 72 camp. He sits 32nd so far today's race. Got Kurt Busch right there trying to get around Ward Burton. Michael Waltrip. Here's Kenny Wallace continuing his march forward. Again, Bobby Labonte, Brian Vickers tied at the hip. Elliott Sadler, we talked about him a bunch yesterday. Running at P23, there's Sterling Marlin. Came in today top 10 in the points. Speaking of points, here's your point leader. Paul Menard. Rusty Wallace, he's looking for a pit stop here. Maybe try and short pit him a bit. There's Ricky Craven. Led a lap earlier. Mark Martin qualified mid-pack. Working his way up to the front. That was almost contact there between Burton and Nemechek. They were able to stay off and keep it clean. Battle for your top 10 rages on. Mears trying to catch up to Park. Gordon catching up to Mears. Elliott's comfortably 8th as of right now. There's Harvick P7. Dale Jarrett P5. Greg Biffle. Jarrett 6. Greg Biffle's P5. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 4th, trying to catch up to Labonte. A couple tenths quicker that last time by. And here comes Kenseth. Seems to be poking out a line, trying to catch the Johnson. Johnson really slow center of the corner. Is he pitting? Johnson's pitting. Kenseth will stay out. It's about a second and a half fall off up to this point. Johnson, there's Jarrett. A little bit of an audible here. Anybody from this pack? Anybody from this group pit? Or is that it? Look at this mumble. Just a mess. Nobody else is pitting. So that's going to leave Kenseth. I imagine he's going to pit this time. Who will he surrender the lead to? Terry Labonte's coming. Here comes Dale Jr. He's looking to lead a lap here today. Kevin Harvick. So we've got some split strategy going on here today. Paul Menard. Rusty Wallace. I mean, look at this. Just mess of cars. Side by side by side. See Johnson there on the apron coming out of the pit. See these guys thunder down. Now they're going to have to make one more pit stop. Mark Martin threw it in there deep and Jeff Burton covered. And looks like everybody's in the pits except for guess who? Ricky Craven. There he is. Ricky Craven will lead yet another lap. And rookie Paul Menard is staying out and see if he can't follow the defending champion Jimmy Johnson around here. Oh, here comes Matt Kenseth out of the pits. This is going to be it. Can he cover Johnson? Will Johnson use the momentum? Matt Kenseth to the lead for now. Kenseth's on old fresh cold tires. Can Johnson use the one lap to his advantage? He cannot. Kenseth will resume the lead once everything cycles. As of right now, Johnson can see if he can't find a way around, peeking to the inside. Kenseth gets a really high exit. You see Dale Jarrett's back there in 3rd. Terry Labonte in 4th. We'll go through the cycle once these guys settle down. Johnson's able to route the bottom really, really well. This will be for the lead of the race at the line, coming to 27 to go. Or 26 to go, sorry. Nope, 27, because, yep. 27. Because Ricky Craven led the line. There's Robbie Gordon. We may have lap traffic playing a factor. This would be really interesting, because if they get held up by Gordon, don't look now, but here comes Dale Jarrett. His 2 wins last season came in the Daytona 500, and I believe it was the Coke 600. While our stat guy gets that, Kenseth goes to the inside of Gordon. Johnson side by side, now he clears. Yes, Dale Jarrett won the Daytona 500 and Coke 600 last year. Looks like things have kind of calmed down here. See, Jay McMurray seems to not have cycled very well. It's Ron Hornaday Jr., Buckshot Jones, Christian Fittipaldi, Jimmy Spencer, Jerry Nadeau, Jeff Green sitting P35. There's David Starr in 34th. John Andretti. There's Elliott Sadler not having a great day. Kyle Petty, Michael Waltrip, and my man Kurt Busch. I'm not very good at picking them. There's Dave Blaney. Jack Sprague has cycled to 27th. His tire going down may not have been the worst thing. I mean, he's on old stuff right now, struggling. But if this thing cycles right, he may not be too bad. We'll have to see when he comes down and makes his pit stop. We got Bobby Labonte. That's weird. I'm not used to seeing the 18 without the 5 today. There he is, Jeremy Mayfield. There's Kenny Wallace marching his way to the front. There's the 5. Finally got away from the 18. Ward Burton, top 20, Paul Menard, Sterling Lyon, Tony Stewart. There's Jeff Burton. Jeff Gordon has just been slipping back. Started 8th. That last run was like 12th-ish. Now he's back to 16th. There's Rusty Wallace, 15th. Ricky Craven, great year so far for him and that team. P14. Joe Nemechek, 13th. Ryan Newman going for 11th on Mears. And look who it is, top 10. Ooh, Mears got to the right rear. Pull him back, get the run off the 6, and he's going to defend for now. Newman throws it in, Nemechek, he wants a piece of it. Meanwhile, we get to our top 10 here as Newman completes the pass. Now Nemechek will look for the spot on Mears. We got Mark Martin, 11.5 seconds off the lead. Ricky Rudd, he might be second in the points after this race. Ninth today. Bill Elliott, steady as can be in P8. Steve Park in 7th. Kevin Harvick chasing down Greg Biffle for a top 5. Harvick's got to run. Can he get him? Oh, we got a little loose. We're going to stay on this battle real quick, because there goes Harvick, makes a move to the inside. He's going to lift, let it roll into the corner, side by side, and he's got him. Well, Biffle's trying to pull him back. Whoa! Something caught my eyes. They were pretty wide back here. Craven, Gordon, and Casey Mears. Casey Mears is dropping anchor. He is falling like a rock. Meanwhile, we'll get up. Ooh, we got Bill Elliott trying to get around Steve Park here. There's battles everywhere. I can't get my field cycle in. Everything's catching my eye. Elliott won't quite get there. Greg Biffle trying to get back on Kevin Harvick. Dale Jr. 5.5 seconds off the lead. There's Terry Labonte going into 3. Catching up to Robbie Gordon. There's Johnson P2 and Matt Kenseth. Dale Jarrett had an engine issue while I was in the middle of that. Oh no! There it was going into turn 3 there. Oh no! Running 3rd. Gets it down and out of the way. NASCAR says track is clear. That was a long time ago. That was like 6 laps ago. I missed that huge. Sprague's on pit road. 49 plus 19. That's how much you can make it on a can of fuel. He can go to lap 68. Jack Sprague can make it from here on out on fuel if he can stretch it. With that being said, the fuel window is open. Yeah, if you can hit here, you can make it to the end on gas. We're coming around to 17 laps to go. I think it's a 2-horse race unless something crazy happens, and I think Matt Kenseth's got a little bit of a leg up. Coming in today, 1 top 10. He had a pole, only 4 laps led. Safe to say he's at least double that. Coming off of 2 here. Down the back stretches. Robbie Gordon's trying to get to the inside of Jimmy Johnson there. You see there's Jack Sprague coming out of the pits. He's going to be, I believe, 2 laps down at least. And with Robbie Gordon being 1 lap down, that's only going to... The yellow comes out. That's only going to take his chances as a lucky dog away. Yes, he is 2 laps down. That was Matt Kenseth off of turn 2 here. The question is, when do you make that pit stop? When do you make that final pit stop? Jack Sprague, 33.8, 34 flat. Sprague, if he can stretch it, can make it to the end on fuel. It's Harvick and Biffle. Just outside the top 10 here. Craven, 13th, trying to hold off Gordon. Jeff Burton's all over the back end of Gordon here. You look at the move Sterling Marlin put on Rusty Wallace there. Trying to get him up off the corner. They're going to be side by side right in front of rookie Paul Menard back here. And what a move. Marlin's looking to clear Wallace. Billy Elliott's on the apron. And that's going to draw a yellow. Looks like he had a tire go down. He's in the apron. Can't have that. He is stopped. He was able to get a tow. Meanwhile, Matt Kenseth will come back around. Jack Sprague will get stuck. 2 down. Robbie Gordon's going to get the lucky dog. And Matt Kenseth will bring it back to the line with 12 to go. So this is where you come down, put 4 fresh tires on. The money stop. Oh boy. And yeah, right here, if you're Jimmy Johnson, you are counting on your team. Hey, this is what I need. Any adjustments that need to be made. Yeah, I don't know if this will be the last yellow. We'll have to see if the aggression picks up here. This time will be 11 laps to go, and here they come. There are the top 3. Junior's back there in 4th. Harvick, can he hang on to a top 5 as we'll get a flyby of the cars coming onto pit road here. Everybody's coming down. Everybody. Bill Elliott was able to get fresh tires right there. He's probably going to be a lap down or so. So you see Jimmy Spencer, all these guys, they must have pitted when it was open. So hopefully they won't get trapped a lap down. And Terry Labonte, I believe he just took 2 tires. Kevin Harvick, I believe he just took 2 tires. They just took gas only. Gas only. Kenseth took 2 just right sides. Oh my gosh. And the 12. Oh no. Ryan Newman is blowing up. Ryan Newman is blowing up. That is not what you want. Man. Back-to-back weeks with mechanical failures. Daytona 500 champion. But other than that, it's been an abysmal season. Coming in today, 13th in the points. Obviously got that 1 win. That engine is gone. But we got a race to decipher here. Here comes the pace car. They're still pacing around here. We're gonna wave the 7 around. Get the 7 out of here. I believe we're gonna wave the 0. Or we're gonna fact check that. Yeah, we're gonna wave the 0, the 01. Wave the 42. Wave the 10, the 30. Oop. Who else we waving? Oh, I didn't mean to click that button. The 60. It's Christian Fittipaldi, and then Robbie Gordon was your lucky dog that last time by. So Bill Elliott, Jack Sprague, David Starr ended up a lap down somehow in the midst of all that. So yeah, we got the 1 and the 29 on old tires. We got Matt Kenseth. I believe Paul Menard took just fuel only. There was Jimmy Johnson. So this definitely mixed up the field quite a bit. We're gonna go through one stir through the field here before we go green. So we got Robbie Gordon, Christian Fittipaldi, Ron Hornaday, Buckshot Jones, Jamie McMurray, Jerry Nadeau, Jack Sprague is P40. Maybe he's still one lap down. David Starr is now 2 laps down. Jimmy Spencer, oh man, Jeremy Mayfield, your point leader. Jeff Green, Elliott Sadler, John Andretti, Michael Waltrip, Petty, here's my pick, Bush, Bill Elliott, P39, P39, Dave Blaney, Kenny Wallace up to P22. He might be able to get a top 20 out of this effort. Labonte, Ward Burton, there's Vickers, Stuart Mears, Rusty Wallace having a great effort out of that part-time group. Marlin, Jeff Gordon, our spotlight driver, there's Ricky Rudd having just piling on a great season for him and that group. Jeff Burton, Joe Nemechek, your top 10. Craven, Park, Biffle, there's Mark Martin, Jr., Johnson, Menard, Kenseth, Harvick, and Terry Labonte. We're going to get restarted with 8 laps to go. There's David Starr. Not sure what happened to him, but he's going to be a couple laps down there in that Hendrick Motorsports entry. Here we go. We're going to have a little bit of a shootout here. 8 laps. Here we go. Green flag. And they're going to be 3 wide for second. What a move from Kenseth. He's up to second already, and he's going for the lead. The 1, the 29, the 23, they rolled the dice. They gambled it all. And it's not going to pay off, at least for the win. And Johnson Jr., Mark Martin, and they're hitting. Oh, no, they must have not got enough fuel. And I don't know what the AI are doing. Matt Kenseth leads with 7 laps to go. Oh, you hate to see that. That's going to kill their points. Why did they do that? As here comes Ricky Craven to the inside. I wonder who back here, who all took 4 tires. A lot of these guys, they took 2 tires. I wonder if anybody took 4. So we're coming to 6 laps to go. Craven trying to get to the inside of Mark Martin. Looking for P4. Craven unable to hold the momentum. Here goes Biffle on the outside. Mark Martin holds on to 4th, trying to catch up to Dell Jr. There goes Bird, slides up a little bit. Yeah, I think Matt Kenseth was just able to force it 3 wide. Was able to make the move. Coming to 5 to go this time by. 33.9 to a 34.1. 33.8, 34 flat. There's Harvick, Paul Menard, Terry Labonte. Heartbreak for those guys, man. They're gonna fall on the points. Harvick P40 in this race up to this point. So we're coming down to 4 laps to go. Total of 6 miles left. Can Johnson catch him? And who's going to get a top 10 out of this mess? How about Bobby Labonte? We haven't seen him up this high in a while. All race. Up to P12. This jumble of cars. Bill Elliott all over the back end of Brian Vickers. Coming to 3 to go this time by. Jeff Burton coming in today was 6th in the points, 1 point behind his leader, or his teammate, the leader of the race. Matt Kenseth. He's going to lose some ground, but P6 isn't horrible for that group. And real quick, I always want to say Roush, 6th, 5th, and 4th, and obviously the lead. Now, the reason this is important is over the offseason, NASCAR announced, we're going 3 wide here, Labonte's going to throw it in on Mears and Craven. NASCAR announced over the offseason that teams, and looks like Bill Elliott's going to pit. It's going to cost him a handful of points. Sorry, let me get my announcement in. NASCAR announced that teams will be maxed and capped at 4 full-time entries. They are allowed a 5th only if that car shows up to half or under a half of the races on the entry list, if that makes sense. So Roush, they got 5 full-time cars. Well, next season, they need 4. They're going to have to drop one. Oh no, Ricky Craven pits. A lot of these guys cutting it close on fuel. The white flag is out, final lap already. Mark Martin going for 3rd. What a move from Mark. Let me finish what I was saying before the race ends. Roush Racing, they're going to have to drop an entry and make it full time, and that entry can only show up to 15 races next season. It's going to be really interesting to see who they whittle down in the silly season, and we'll have to see how that goes. But in the meantime, Matt Kenseth is your Vegas winner. Johnson 2nd, Mark Martin clawed his way to 3rd after not a great start to the season. Last week's winner, Junior, finishing 4th, top 5. There's Greg Biffle, Jeff Burton, P6, Nemechek, great run for him. Jeff Gordon started 8th, finished 8th. Bobby Labonte, a top 10. What a run from Labonte. Mears stole the top 10 away from Park. Marling, P12. Ricky Rudd, 13th. Vickers, 14th. Kurt Busch, 15th. Kind of scroll through the field here. Kenny Wallace did get his top 20. Mayfield, 23rd. Your point leader. Jack Sprague only got to 32nd. And here's Kevin Harvick, 39th, man. After pitting, there's Terry Labonte, 36th. Paul Menard, 38th. Yeah, all these guys are going to peel off into the pit here. All right, this is your official standings. We got Kenseth, Johnson, Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Greg Biffle, your top 5. Just going to kind of scroll through here. 30 cars finished on the lead lap here today. The first 40 laps or so were pretty routine, but the last couple really spiced it up, I guess. I know next week is Atlanta. There is no other racing going on, so it's just the Cup Series. We'll be recording that probably really soon, and we'll get this out to you as soon as possible. But thank you for watching. You guys have a good rest of your day. Later.